Hello, welcome back. My name is Anita, and I am coming at you today with a fountain pen superlative video. I have got the mid-year edition because my collection is ever evolving. And yeah, this is definitely something that it will be interesting to look back at in December compared to what it looks like today. So let's get the party started. Before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to Karina at Karina Loves to Plan for coming up with this. I believe it was her who did it first. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. And I also want to give a shout out to her dog, Lucy. I love watching her vlogs. For Lucy. Lucy reminds me of a dog my aunt had when I was a kid growing up. And I don't know, they just have that same kind of like small dog energy. Like I'm chilling over here until I want something. So I like a dog, but kind of with a little cat energy. Like I will engage with you when I'm ready. So chill. I love Lucy. Anyway, let's get started. I wrote out the superlatives that I'm going to be using. I looked at her video. I took most of them and I pre-wrote them. I made a note of what pen I used, which was, I'm still working with this. If you've been here a while, my TWSBI cream with rose gold, and it is still inked with wearing gold Othello. I just find it funny. I inked this. Oh my goodness. How long ago did I ink this? Yeah, we're getting off track already. And it's okay. It's been a minute. When did this pen get released? I don't know. I'm not going to waste too much time with this. It's just more of an idle curiosity thing right now. It's probably since the beginning of the year. But when I used it at the beginning, it was just a dry writing experience that I did not really enjoy. And I don't know. I was kind of torn about it. I said, I hate to waste the ink, but I'm not enjoying it. But I hate to waste the ink. I like the ink. And then I went to the pen show. I got some ink wetter from Andarillium, and it's much better. So, but it's a fine nib. And yeah, it's not fine. It's medium. It takes a minute to use it up. I love broad and stub TWSBIs. So yeah, total sidebar. And I wrote this ahead of time. I just dated it today. Today is June 20th, 2024. And yeah, I lettered that with a brush pen. I wrote this with Poseidon, this pen, and the Waterman Inspired Blue, just so that I could look back and remember, because I figured, I'll just write this. I'm like, but I'm going to wonder what I did. So yeah, I did all of that because I'm that girl. All right. I'm not going to use this anymore, so away we go. Finally, my first fountain pen. Got my pens all around me. My first fountain pen, and please forgive me. My first fountain pen, in my fountain pen, my real fountain pen journey, because I've only been dipping my toe in. When I jumped into the pool, this was the first pen. TWSBI, yeah, TWSBI Eco with, I think, an extra fine nib. I doubt if I can see it because my eyesight is just like, haha, yeah, it's an extra fine. Yes, this was my first pen, and it's because I couldn't commit to a color, so I got no color, and I inked it up to the brim with Pilot Iroshizuku Kirisame, a nice, warm, soft gray. And that ink was in there forever. And yeah, lesson learned. I did not like that. It was in there too long. I get bored. I want to switch it up. So, but my first fountain pen, and I'm going to use my currently inked pens for June to fill this in. That way I can keep up with it. Oh, and this was a new addition. What video is this? I added this to my currently inked lineup. We'll talk about it in an upcoming video. But I'll just whip this on here real quick. My first fountain pen was TWSBI Eco, an extra fine nib, and it's clear. Yes, I'm using my currently inked so I can keep up with the pens that I'm using, the inks, and all of that. I can just, while I'm editing, just look back if I can't eyeball and remember. But I added that pen, and it's so fun. Look at this little pen, this little TWSBI. I love it. I love it so much. I just love the whole pen hobby and just using pens. Okay. My most recent fountain pen purchase, I had intended to double check this, but I didn't. Yeah, I'm admitting I made a mistake. And my pens that are in hand, of those pens that I currently have that were recently purchased, this is my most recent. I'm pretty sure, like with 90% certainty, I would gamble on that, is my Asvine V as in vac filler 126. I picked this up on Amazon and I love Asvine pens. How do you say this? This sounds like such a backhanded thing. I love the way they write. Now that is accurate. Appearance wise, they're not as eye-catching as, say, this Leonardo. This is really pretty. Or some other pens that are out there. Oh, here's an Esterbrook SD in Winter White, if white is your thing. But the nibs, in my experience, and I usually go for a medium, have been very consistent and good writers and wet enough that I like. So my most recent, because my first vac filler is this pen, is this Asvine. Look at that. I haven't used this for a couple of weeks and it just wrote right away. That's awesome. V126. It has a medium nib and the color is transparent teal. I love this pen. I love the way it writes, and honestly, I am really tempted to add more ink to it, but I don't know if I'm going to, just because I've got so many of these similar colors this month. I may just change everything for July. We'll see. Okay, my smallest fountain pen is an easy one. My smallest are the Kavekos. This is one of the 3 that I own. This is a Macchiato Kaveco Skyline Sport with a double broad nib, which I believe this is bigger than the TWSBI's bigger, yes. So definitely the Kaveco is my smallest. Put that back over there. I'm still catching up on journaling. Shame on me. I'm trying to do better, but I always seem to be about a month behind. Okay, my smallest fountain pen, I can't talk today. I'll just say Kaveco Sport because I've got 3 of them and they're all the same size. Okay, my largest fountain pen. Let's see. Let's find out together. It's either this Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0. I'm cracking myself up today. Or, not that one. Where is it? There it is. Don't mind me. I'm struggling. I think this is bigger. This is a Jinhao 9019. Let's just take a quick look. Okay, we'll move the book a minute. And we'll go by these uneven lines and just get an idea. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry. My glasses hit the camera. I'm so sorry. They're so close. They're so close. Because of the conical finial, the Leonardo is ever so slightly taller. And when we take off the caps, Definitely the Jinhao is much girthier than the Leonardo. Yeah. So we're just going to give it to the Jinhao because it's a chunk. This is a chunky pen. So we're going to call that one the winner. And I will use the Leonardo to notate it. Oh, wow. Okay, my largest pen is the, Jinhao 9019. I have two of them, so I'll just leave off the color. My most expensive fountain pen, haha, is this pen. I have one gold nib pen, which costs about less than half what this one costs, but it's cool. I don't care. I'm not about what a pen costs. I'm more about the writing experience, and you don't have to spend, you know, a small fortune to have a good experience, which I think is amazing. I am all about a good deal. So that doesn't mean I won't buy an expensive pen. But this is my most expensive currently. It is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0, and it's my only Grande. My other Leonardos are not Grande. Okay, Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0, and I'll make a note of which one it is since it's my only one currently. Planetary Nebula. I love this pen. It has been inked since I got it, and it's had Pelican, Edelstein Apatite in it, and honestly, I don't know when I'm going to change the ink. I don't know when I'm going to clean the pen. I love it. It's going to be inked for a while because I just love the combination. It brings me so much joy. My least expensive pen is harder because I have a lot of least expensive pens. But for the sake of simplicity, let me think a second. I was going to say the Jinhao because I was picking these up super cheap on AliExpress, but I think of the time when I purchased my pens, my least expensive is still a Jinhao, but it's not the Jinhao 82. I'm just going into my case over here. I've got to figure out my storage. If you've got a good storage solution, tell me what you're doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. This was my least expensive. This is the Jinhao 80, and I got this because I wanted to see how I liked it, if I should consider picking up a Lamy 2000. I didn't want to get a Lamy 2000 for that money. If I just wasn't vibing with the style of the pen, why would I do that? That's a lot of money, and I'm not really the one to go and resell something because I'm just too lazy and unmotivated to do that. I'm just probably not gonna. I'm more likely to give it away to someone in my world than I am to, or even in a giveaway, than I am to just sell it. I'm like, oh, too much work. I can't be bothered. So anyway, so I picked this one up probably on AliExpress or maybe Amazon. I don't remember now because it's been a while. And this was really cheap. I think it was AliExpress. I don't even think I paid $2 for it. It was super duper inexpensive. But I did switch the nib to a Lamy nib, and it writes so much better with the Lamy nib. And I cannot write with this pen unless I dip it, which I'm not going to do because I have too many pens to clean. So I will use my TWSBI to write. My least expensive fountain pen is a Jinhao 80. It's got, I think it's a medium Lamy nib. Let's see if I see it, because you know I'm rolling on the struggle bus. I can't see it. Oh well, I will look at some other time or not. I'll leave it blank. And it's a Lamy nib, and the pen is black. Yeah, that was me picking up my pen. Yeah, I do like writing with it, and I haven't used it in a while, so I need to bring it back out. That is my least expensive pen. I don't know how much they are now. I've had this for quite a while, and I should put it away. So I don't know. I need to bring it back out and use it again and see if I still have the same feelings about it. All right, so that's my least expensive. That was a deal. I don't even think it was $2. It was quite the deal. My most spontaneous purchase, I had a lot of those, but they were insignificant because the money wasn't much, you know what I mean? But my most spontaneous purchase that was memorable was this pen, because I didn't realize it was a limited edition that was coming out. I was totally like behind the curve on it way back there. Like, did you even know? I didn't know. So I'd seen a video, and I can't think of who it was right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, she commented that the pen was still available. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's still available. So this was a total spontaneous purchase, and I don't usually spontaneously buy pricey pens. Usually it's a plan, but I did that with this one, and I am without regret. I love this pen. So my most spontaneous purchase was the Leonardo. I'm just going to shorten it to Nebula. So this was my most spontaneous purchase, which is funny because it's also my most expensive pen. But yeah, my Grail pen, or at least my Grail resin, is the mother of pearl resin. And if I can get it in the Leonardo that was released a while back, a limited edition, then that's great. If I get it in a different pen, that's great. I'm not really stressed about it, but this reminded me of it, so that's why I was like, I'm getting it. My most thoughtful purchase, that's a good one. I thought about this and thought about this and thought about this pen. It's the Visconti Mirage Mythos. I thought about it mainly because of the color. I couldn't decide what color I wanted to get. There were, at the time, 4 colors. There was like a tealy colored, greeny tealy. It's pretty, kind of like the green in this ink. The magenta kind of pink, a brown, and something else. I can't remember right now. Anyway, I was just going around and around. I couldn't decide which one, and like I kind of like the green, but I like the pink, and it was nonstop. And it took me a while to even get to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try the pen. And then this one came out, which looked kind of dark and stealthy, which I don't always go for. I like this Leonardo, this kind of crackly ice chatoyant resin. I kind more like that. Even this, which kind of reminded me of the mother of pearl. I'm more like that, and I can go for the less flashy, kind of flashy looking stuff. Not Benu flashy, but you know. Anyway, I couldn't decide. I really thought about this pen before I said, yes, I'm going to get it. And then I couldn't decide on the color. So I thought about this for a very long time, way too long for what it costs relative to the other pens that I bought about the same price point. It doesn't usually take me long to pull the trigger, but this one took a minute. So my most thoughtful purchase was the Visconti, and I'm so happy with it. Mirage Mythos Poseidon, and it's got a medium nib, and I love the way this pen writes. I don't know why it really took me so hard to just pick a color. But I love the pen. I love the pen. I love the way it writes. And I hope when I I'm gonna say it, when I work my way to the more expensive ones, I can't think of the model now because I'm just not pressed about it, that it doesn't take me so long to make a decision. I don't know, but I'm so happy with that purchase. I feel like I got a deal on a pen with that because I feel like it just writes just so well. I mean, I don't know, it just hits different than the Leonardo's. I love the Leonardo's. Yeah, yeah, I really like it. Don't be surprised if I get all available colors because that's just the way my brain works. My most surprising purchase. Which pen surprised me the most? That's a good one. All right, let's grab a pen. I'll use one that needs to be cleaned because it's closer. My most surprising purchase, the pen that surprised me the most, is the Asvine, my first Asvine P20. This piston filler with a medium nib wrote so well right out of the box. I was like, wow. I think it was less than $30 for sure. I was just surprised at how well it wrote. That's it. I bought many different Chinese pens that were inspired by other more established brands, and they were, just mimicking the styles and stuff, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way the world turns. But this one really surprised me at how well it wrote. Let me see if there's enough ink. No, I thought, but it's dry. I love this pen. I loved how it wrote so much that I bought it in two other colors, or I got them as gifts. I also have a green one, which the appearance is like, but it writes really well. And I have like a kind of an amber color. And I love the way they write. So this is the Asvine P20 with a medium nib, and it writes so well. Oh, wow. I can't even. All right, let's use this pen this time. This is a Madron A1. I love this pen too. I got this to see if I would like a Pilot capless, and I will. So my most surprising purchase was the Asvine. And this pen I haven't touched in about 2 weeks, and it wrote as soon as I took it out. How awesome. Asvine P20. Medium nib in blue. An awesome writer. All right. My most used pen. And honestly, since it's not one individual pen where that's the only pen, like this is my one and only Esterbrook Esty, and I use it daily. Since I don't have a pen that's my only little orphan pen that I use all the time that I love, it's more a brand. And the brand that I use the most on a daily basis is the TWSBI. I love TWSBIs, and I know they're somewhat controversial in some circles, but the TWSBI has never done me dirty. And knock on wood that it never happens. I love TWSBIs. My most used are TWSBIs, either Ecos or the Diamond 580s. I go back and forth. I'm just gonna say TWSBI. I'll say Eco or 580. Eco or 580. Either one. I always have a TWSBI inked. I don't know when I don't remember. Since I don't remember when I didn't have one inked. I'd have to look back and see if that's a thing. My most disappointing pen. That's easy. Do I even still have it? I was so disappointed. I'm going to revisit the pen. I may end up giving it away. I don't know. I haven't decided. I haven't used it in over a year. My most disappointing pen was the Noodler's Ahab. I wanted a pen with a flex nib. I do modern calligraphy. Most of it's digital nowadays, but I want to get back into more tactile lettering. So I was excited to try a nib with some flex, you know? This wasn't it, or at least I didn't enjoy it. I'm gonna try it again. Like I said, I got this early on and I have not used it. Oh wow, look at that. I haven't used it in several months. What the heck? How did I even use this pen? I didn't like it. I have used pointed pen, so it's not like the flex was completely foreign, but I didn't like this. No, this was a This is the first time I've taken it out since I put it away, and we're gonna put it back right now. I didn't like it. I don't know if I will keep it, re-gift it. Somebody out there may appreciate it, but I don't know. Not a fan of that pen at all. It was really, I was like, that wasn't there. Yeah, I don't even, it's on the side in my pen case. I'll show y'all where the pens that I don't use. I don't use most, can you mind the frame? Yes. I don't use most of these. I do use this one. This one's a Hongdian. These are all Jinhaos. I don't even remember what these are. I used one of them and it's stained. That was this one. I am not averse to revisiting any of these 4 on the end, but otherwise this is the only one I really use. And this was on the end. I didn't even notice it. That's how terrible, that's how little I think about that pen. It just was not it. So my most disappointing pen, I'm pretty sure it's called Ahab. Noodler's Ahab. Oh, how sad. Okay, my least used pen. You know, I couldn't figure that one out. But now that I'm sitting here, I don't know why I couldn't figure it out, because it seems very obvious now. My least used are the Jinhaos. When I got them, they were just so cute. It was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like buying individual markers, like Tombos. Like, oh, choose a color, pick a color. So, like, here are a couple. Like, you can buy them individually. You can buy all of them. And I was kind of going for all of them. Oops, sorry, y'all. My bad. Anyway, they're really too small for my hand. And I can, like, jot notes and things, but to just sit and write for more than, oh, look at that. That just did that. To sit and write more than just, like, notes or a short list is too much. And you see what the pen just did. But my expectations for, you know, like a $2 pen were quite low. So it still writes, and I can use it to practice my nib grinding. I want to be a nibsmith when I am mature in my fountain pen journey. Anyway, Jinhaos, these are my least used. Every now and then, I feel nostalgic, that giddy optimism when I first got into fountain pens, and I'll pull one out, and yeah, it's too small. So it's never really a fantastic journey with them. It's just okay. So my least used are Jinhao 82s. I have a lot of them, and they do not see a lot of action at all. Brand I own the most of, I have 2 entries for that category because on one hand, what am I doing? I am being so fidgety. On one hand, I know the brand I have the most of, logically thinking, are the Gin House, because just right here, like I have this cup of pens on my desk. There's close to 20 pens in here, if not 20 pens. And then I have other Gin House. I have a few to be cleaned. I have other sizes, like this is the Centennial 100. All Gin House aren't terrible. They're all not, you know, created equally, you know, mediocre or whatever. Some of them are really pretty good. Like this one, the 9019 is pretty good. I mean, this was an inexpensive pen also. So I own the most Gin House, but the pen that I own the most of that I actually used are the TWSBIs. I have a lot of TWSBIs. I am trying to collect all the colors that I can get my hands on and not spend a fortune, because I'm not doing that, because that's just not the way I'm wired. They're plastic pens. I'm not going to spend a fortune. But I do like them, and I do like to have everything if I can. So I have, how many TWSBIs? I have many. Okay, I got 2 here. Let's just take a quick look. 2, am I in the frame? Almost. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 15 over here. 2 here is 17. I got 1 here that I'm almost done with, that's 18. And then to be cleaned, 19, just 1, 20. I am behind on my pen cleaning. It's embarrassing. Look at this. Shame on me. That's 20. Let's keep going. I think I have a few more. 22. Yeah, these have water in them. I thought they were clean. Not yet, because the water started out clear and now that's full of shimmer and that's full of color. 22. 23. And I'm getting near the end of this one. 24. Is that it? Yeah, I have 24 TWSBIs. I have more Gin House than that, but I use the TWSBIs much more than the Gin House. So I'm going to say both of them, and then I'm going to say why. And when I'm done with this video, I'm going to clean some pens, because I am so overdue. All right. I'm going to use my Delta Duna for this one. I love this. It's so pretty. Oh, okay. Brand I own the most of, ... that I use most is TWSBI. Most pens is Gin House. Yeah, so that's it. There were a few other questions that really don't apply to me. Like one of them is my oldest fountain pen style, I guess. I don't know. All of my pens are pens that I've purchased since March of 2023. So, or have been given to me. So none of them are vintage. They were all in production, or had recently been in production if they were, you know, a limited edition. So I don't have any pens that are old, I guess. So I just didn't bother with that. And was there anything else I didn't do? That's all I remember right now. That was the main one. I don't have anything that's old to speak of. So And I'm cool with that for now. I think if I buy any vintage pens, I think I'm going to do that in person because it feels like they're much more individual than buying something that is much more uniform, I guess, in today's world. Like if you buy an Esterbrook today, you know exactly what you're getting. And, you know, performance-wise, assuming that the pen is properly tuned, you know what you're getting. But a vintage pen that's no longer in production, someone else has probably used, you don't know how they treated it. I just feel like I want to do vintage pens in person. That's how I'm feeling about it right now, especially seeing as I know nothing about taking care of a vintage pen. That's a whole other world to learn. So anyway, yes, I just left that out. Anyway, those are my superlatives for the mid-year. That was interesting. My first fountain pen is going to stay the same. Some of these will stay the same. My smallest pen could possibly change, but I doubt it because my smallest pen is already pretty small. But yeah, most of these things could definitely change. It will be interesting to see what happens at the end of the year. So I would just want to say thank you if you hung out with me until the very end. Tell me a couple of your superlatives. You don't have to get all into everything if you don't have a YouTube channel. You just want to comment down there. I'm interested to know, what was your first fountain pen? Let me know down in the comments because I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, would I still have gotten a TWSBI knowing what I knew 3 months into the hobby? No, I think I would have gotten a cartridge converter pen first. But I got a TWSBI first. And fun fact, I sat and watched a video from Inquiring Minds on how to take it apart. So I sat there and took my TWSBI apart and then put it back together. Why? I would never do that now. Oh my gosh, how did I do it? And I told myself when I took it apart, don't panic. Just follow the instructions and put it back together. So I did. Yeah. But yeah, my first pen now, what I would recommend to someone else now, make that first pen a cartridge converter because those are the easiest to clean. And then if you want your second, third, fourth, once you've gotten like the hang of maintaining a pen a little bit, you want to go for a TWSBI or any other piston filler, go for it. But they're different. And the cartridge converters are easy. So that's why I say that. But yeah, that's the only thing I would change is my first pen might be different. It might be a Jinhao. It could be, ooh, I know what it would be. Knowing what I know now, I'll show y'all what my first pen would be. Ta-da! It would be a Pilot Kakuno. I love these. These are freaking awesome. I love these pens. It would be this or a Prera. One or the other. That would be my first, but that's okay. I have no regrets. Thank you again. And thank you for listening to the little fountain pen ramblings. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.